Okay. Tell me when you would like me to start.
Right now.
Okay. So, first recipe we're going to do is a bagel recipe, and hopefully,
Can she put up her volume?
you, oh, now you think I'm really techie, huh? I thought it was up.
Now it is. Now it is. Good.
Oh, because I'm right near the computer. Okay, I'll talk louder.
Okay, I don't know. Gloria, did you want to introduce Janet quickly and then?
Oh, okay, sure. I think most of you know Janet, but for those of you who don't, this is our wonderful neighbor and friend on the island who's not on the island at the moment because she can't get here. But we're delighted to have her presenting what I guess we're calling greeting the day with bagels and muffins. Take it away, Janet.
Well, thank you. The first recipe is a bagel recipe, actually, and hopefully this recipe, which is so simple, you'll enjoy making, and you hopefully it will hold you over until the bagel shop reopens on the island again. So it's very simple, and I'm a firm believer of finding recipes that are easy. I'm attracted to easy recipes because I believe that an easy recipe can be just as delicious as a very complicated one. This one is truly very easy. I've sent everybody who was on that list this morning a copy of these recipes, both the bagel and the muffin recipe. So to start with the easy bagel recipe, I preheated the oven to 375. And what I'm going to do is take a cup of all-purpose flour in a bowl that's not giant because we will be making 4 bagels, just 4. I imagine you can double the recipe if you want. It also, on the recipe, it says that you can use whole wheat flour if you have some interest in that. I would not use totally whole wheat. I might combine a little white flour with whole wheat. But if you felt the urge to be a little healthier, you could use whole wheat flour. So it's a cup of flour, which I will put in here. And I will show you as I go along what it looks like. And next is, let's see, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I wish you guys were here to taste it afterwards because it really is quite delicious. Okay. And next is, it's calling for 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. I think that's a lot. So I am going to use regular table salt, and I'm going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon. I think that's enough. And I'm using plain old Morton's salt. I never pour the salt over my flour because I inevitably spill some, and I'd rather not spill it into the flour mixture. Okay, and next is a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, not regular non-fat Greek yogurt, which is right now in my refrigerator. Don't go away. Okay, I like, I think it's pronounced Giovanni. I happen to like the way this tastes, and that's what I use for this recipe. So, mix it up. Okie dokie. You're not going to believe how simple this is. Okay, and then, I thought I had everything I needed right here, but I don't. You mix it. First, you mix the dry ingredients to make sure that the flour and the salt and the baking soda is all mixed together. And then you put the yogurt in. Okay. Meanwhile, my oven is preheating. So you just mix it up until it's well blended. And it will look like small crumbles. And I don't know if you can see, but it's beginning to crumble a little bit. Oh gosh, I know you're gonna love this. And then I'm supposed to gently flour my working surface, and I use my counter for that, which is clean. I just take a little bit of flour and I put it on the counter. You probably can't see. It was challenging for me to find a spot to do this demonstration where you could see me and also see what I was doing. But this is traditionally where if I had a buffet party, I would serve the buffet on this counter. But today it's going to be for the cooking demonstration. And then I just take this mixture and can you see what it looks like? Can you tell that it's kind of crumbly? I don't know. And then can you see it? Yeah.
Yes, Jan.
Yeah. And then you just, about 15 times, you kind of turn it over like this, as I'm doing. It's not really kneading it, but it's kind of mixing it a little bit better. And they say until it doesn't stick in your hands anymore, and it's really not sticking to my hand anymore. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper and I'm going to put it on the baking pan, and I'm going to take a little, cooking spray. I use canola. I'm going to put it on here so that when I put the bagels on here, it won't stick. And rather than get my hands filled with the oil from the spray, I use a silicone brush just to kind of spread the spray on the parchment paper, which is the same parchment paper that I bought about 4 years ago when the Kellys came to visit me, and we were at Costco, and Sandra decided she needed some parchment paper, and of course Costco, everything comes in huge quantities. There were 2 huge things of parchment paper, and we shared. Do you still have yours, Sandra?
I do, Janet. Yes, it was mighty big.
It was a good deal. Okay, so you take this dough, cut it into fourths, and then again into fourths, not in half and then into quarters. And then you just roll it out on the counter with the flour. It's probably a little too sticky, but it will do. And then you make it into a bagel shape. Here's your bagel. And you put it on the parchment paper, and there we have one bagel. And second. Okay. The third. It's a little sticky. I may not have added enough flour. Probably should have used a little bit more, but it will work. Three. And then four. Difficult, huh? Okay, we now have 4 bagels here. I hate wasting any of this mixture, so this dough, I'm just going to stick what's stuck on my fingers onto a bagel. Okay, let me just get something to. Okay, next we're going to put a egg wash on top, so to give it some shine. You can either use the egg white or the whole egg. I made this recipe yesterday just to refresh my memory as to what to do. And I used just the egg white, and I didn't care for the shine. It wasn't shiny enough. So this time I'm going to try a wash using the whole egg. And you mix it up, of course. Most people would use a fork, but this is easier right now. Okay, and I'll just put some of this wash on the bagel, on each of the bagels. Can you see me? I don't know. I can't tell if this is.
No, you can't.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
No, because you're off camera. If you moved your flour bag, we'd be able to see it. Oh,
How about that?
yes, okay.
Okay. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Okay. Okie doke. And next, you can put any kind of topping you want on it. You know, Trader Joe's has that, I think it's called all bagel, different all bagel topping. You can use onion flakes. I am using sesame seed on 2, because that's what I have in the house. Now the recipe says you can put it on the bottom. I normally don't. I just put it on the top. And the other 2 bagels, I'm going to put poppy seed. And I don't know whether or not you can see this. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Done in the oven. Let me see how long I have to cook it. Bake it for at 375 or oh, you know what? I forgot. I didn't put, oh, I did put salt in. Okay.
You didn't put what?
No, I thought I didn't put the salt in, but I did. Top of the egg wash, sprinkle both sides, bake at the top rack in the oven for 25 minutes. Okay, in it goes, 25 minutes, and they'll be delicious, guaranteed. And that's it. Any questions? I mean, I wish you were here to taste it when they come out, and they're really quite good. Maybe not as good as the bagel shop on the island, but they're pretty good. They really are. You would not believe how, Sandra, you made them, didn't you?
I was just gonna say that you gave me this recipe long ago, and I did make them. They are very, very good. But I wanted to ask you. You said you made some yesterday. Can you show those that are already baked, or is it, or do you have you eaten them already?
There's one left, believe it or not. Okay.
I'm just going to ask everyone that wants to unmute themselves to do it because I've been trying to do it and having hiccups. So
Yeah, I'm just going to be unmuted so that you can feel free to ask questions. But this is
yeah.
this is
Oh, that looks fabulous.
yeah.
I can't wait till you come back.
Yeah. I'll be competition for the bagel store.
I
sure.
never realized that bagels could be so easy. They always seem so complicated.
And they are.
I had a bagel until I was a teenager.
They are really very, very tasty. Very, very tasty. So
You just bake them until they're brown, light brown.
Oh, they look so
oh,
good.
which reminds me, what did I say? We have to cook it
Roberta.
for
25 minutes. 25 minutes, you
I'm
said.
gonna do, okay. Siri, timer for 24 minutes. Since I figured we did it.
So they should be light brown anyway.
Like a bagel. Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's, I mean, they're really wonderful. Very, very, they're not cakey. They taste like bagels.
Is this a family recipe?
No. A friend of mine out here, Jennifer, gave it to me. And I found it also online. And yeah, she says it's easy peasy. And if it says easy, that's in my repertoire.
I like it, Jan, because I like it because you are getting the protein from the yogurt. So, that's a benefit.
Yeah, there's nothing really bad in here. So,
Right.
and while that's cooking or baking, let me get started with the muffins. And the muffins too are delicious and easy because I'm making it and it has to be easy. Otherwise, it's not good. So this is called strawberry oatmeal muffins. You should all have the recipe. I sent it out to everybody, so by email. Calls for one, and in this recipe I need a bigger bowl. So a bigger bowl. There we go. And it calls for 1 cup of oats. I use regular Quaker oats, nothing fancy. It's what I have in the house, and that's what I use. This is what my new breakfast every day actually is a bowl of oatmeal, which I really like, so. 1 ounce. And a little sugar. It calls for a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, which is, it doesn't taste very sweet, this thing, but it is tasty. 1/2 cup of brown sugar. A cup of Greek yogurt, again, Greek yogurt. So I apologize if I keep going in and out of this camera screen, but it's, it is what it is. This house is not conducively to cooking demonstrations.
Quite good.
Here we go. This is also delicious. And tomorrow we're going over to Catherine and Chuck's house. And they're from Alaska, they fish. And in their freezer, they have lox, fresh lox. And they invited us to have bagels and lox with them tomorrow. So I'm not bringing the bagels, I'm gonna go buy bagels. But we're gonna have muffins along with the bagels and the lox. Outside, of course, socially distanced. I'm so sick of this COVID thing.
I know.
Oh, God. Then it calls for a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And here it is. Most people would have most of these ingredients in their refrigerator or in their pantry. Maybe not the yogurt, I don't know, but you probably could almost use any kind of yogurt, even if it were flavored. I don't see why you couldn't.
Yogurt, is that like the healthy alternative to maybe cream?
I don't know. It's called Snack Girl, where I got this recipe from, which is an online site. I don't know. That's what the recipe calls for, and I know
Because I know that sometimes for heavy cream, you can substitute.
yogurt.
Queen of substitutes, so 'cause I'm always like just putting together things, and I noticed that you can do that with Greek yogurt like that.
Yeah. Well, I know that when I make banana bread, it calls for sour cream, and I've substituted this yogurt for the sour cream
Right.
that's called for in that banana bread, and it tastes the same. And my kids don't even know that I've done that, and I won't tell them because they'll say yogurt. You don't want yogurt. So
And it can also be,
Yogurt or the
it could be a substitute
yogurt
as well
or-
for mayonnaise.
and for mayonnaise, yes.
Yeah, like you could put it in chicken salad instead of mayonnaise.
I haven't done that, but I know you can as well.
It's not as flavorful, but
So this calls also for 1 egg.
Is your son named Jeffrey?
Yes.
I think he's here.
Jeffrey, are you there?
He just joined us.
Oh, okay. So he didn't hear about the yogurt part. Good. See, 1 egg, a teaspoon of vanilla. Hi, Jeffrey.
I think he's here somewhere.
By the way, Jeffrey was one of the, he helped us help Sandra and I and Linda get started with the Block Island Bulletin Board. He was our helper, our teacher.
Excellent.
Because I needed.
Yeah, he's definitely there. Let's see. I'm gonna ask him to start his video.
Okay.
I think he's just listening.
1 egg. Okay. A teaspoon of vanilla. Jeffrey's in Colorado. A cup of flour. Teaspoon of salt. Boy, this is fun. You know, I almost feel like a real cook.
bar a real cook.
Yeah, but I'm not, like, I thought Susan was, and Sandra, they're the real cooks. Let me see. A teaspoon of baking powder. all I have done actually is discover these wonderful recipes that I'm sharing with you. You know, because I know that they're really good. And if you just follow the recipe, you'll be fine. Okay, baking powder and also baking soda. Half a teaspoon. By the way, what I do every year with baking powder and baking soda, every year, whether I need it or not, I always buy a fresh box. They're inexpensive and it's my kind of my splurge, but just in order to guarantee that they're really good and fresh. Half a teaspoon. Okay. And then now the fun. So you could add to this, you mix this up, of course, and you could add to it any kind of fruit that you would like, or anything that's in your refrigerator. Strawberries, blueberries, raisins, walnuts. The recipe calls for strawberries, but I have added blueberries with the strawberries, walnuts, and raisins, and some. Once I did it with mango because I happen to like mango. I mean, you can add anything you want with it.
You ever done chopped apples?
You can use chopped apples, absolutely. I would chop them small so they're not so they can cook.
Right.
So, and I'll show you the batter. And
Maybe rhubarb.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with how to cook with rhubarb, but I would imagine I mean, I don't see why not.
Jan, when I made them, all I had was rhubarb and they were very good.
Oh, good. Did you cook the rhubarb beforehand? I take it.
Yes,
Uh,
it was.
Oh, you cooked it first?
Yeah, I just cooked it a little bit because the muffins wouldn't, they would probably still be a
Right.
little hard. So I did cook them a
Okay.
bit, yes.
That's a good
So
idea.
here's what it looks like, the batter. I am going to add strawberries because I have a lot of strawberries in the house. It calls for a cup, and there's about a cup of strawberries in here. I just dump it in. And for fun, and because I read recently that they're very healthy, so kind of evens out the brown sugar, I added walnuts. In it goes. And I don't know, there's always something for me, I like raisins, and it adds a certain sweetness. I just add a handful of raisins. I don't know, I think that's enough. Mix it all up. And I'll show you my newest discovery, which I love, in a minute. My muffin pan. So this is now saying, you mix it all up, and then you, let's see, add the flour, salt, baking powder, and baking soda, and fold in the strawberries. Bake for 15 to 7 minutes until the toothpick comes out clean. So you're supposed to line a muffin pan with those liners, but I didn't have liners. I didn't even have a muffin pan, to be honest with you. So I had to go buy a muffin pan on Amazon. I put vanilla in, didn't I? I think I did. Okay. Catherine, when you have it tomorrow, if it doesn't taste just right, it means I forgot the vanilla. Okay. I have a silicone muffin pan. I don't know if any of you have ever used this. Have you? I was very skeptical about using silicone for anything, but I said, I don't have to worry about, muffin liners, and let me give it a try. And they're wonderful. It's just wonderful. So what I do is I take a drop of this spray in each one of the muffin things, truly a drop. That's probably even too much what I'm doing, but I have a heavy hand. And I go like that, so that it's, the oil is covering the entire muffin holder with pan. And then I have to get a spoon. Oh dear, it's right here in front of this thing here. Sorry, folks. Okay. And I take a spoonful of this mixture and put it in the muffin pan. Like that, like so. I really wanted to show you this finished. I don't know if there'll be enough time or people have to go, but yeah. These things also freeze very well, as do the bagels.
Time is breakfast. I can take a knock nonstop out of Block Island Airport.
That's okay. Come on over. Anything new and exciting going on in the island?
Oh,
If you ask anything new and exciting going on here, no, nothing, except I managed to pick places to live very well. That the COVID is worse here in Arizona, state of Arizona, California, and Rhode Island. I have houses in those places.
I have news. Did it flash on anyone else's computer that AP has called the election for Ossoff? So the Democrats have won both seats in
Yay.
Georgia.
oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Wonderful.
That is,
Hooray. Thank you, Linda.
wow.
I like that, the little news bite that jumps in.
Oh, that's the best news today. Wow.
Yeah, that makes it possible for Biden to have
Have-
some,
To
you know,
effectively
yeah.
navigate a government. Yes,
Yeah.
create policy.
Well, that's certainly better than the news that they had to vacate the Capitol and send the vice president into hiding.
I was
And the Congress people.
and the Congress, yeah, yep. Did you hear Mitch McConnell speak this afternoon? You know, denouncing.
Yeah, I was actually impressed.
I know.
You,
But he should have done it sooner.
It's
A little
exactly.
late.
Janet, can you just put that silicone muffin pan in the dishwasher?
I imagine you can. I have not. I always wash it, but I haven't. But I can't imagine why not. I don't.
Like on the top rack.
The top probably.
On the top rack.
By the time I want to run the dishwasher, it's so loaded that I couldn't fit a toothpick in there. But I can't imagine. But I love it. In fact, I thought I would have the chance yesterday to make these muffins ahead of time. What I'm doing, I have no idea why I'm so busy. But anyhow, I didn't have the chance. And I bought another muffin pan, and I'm going to be taking it with me when I get back to the island, if I ever get back there.
You will. You will.
Yep. Okay, try to make this somewhat even. It's a good thing no one there.
Are those giant muffins?
No, they're not.
Like-
They're
They're regular?
They're not.
Oh,
centimeters.
okay.
No. So unfortunately, I can't put it in the oven just yet because it requires, I think it's 400 degrees, and the bagels are in there. But I'm going to check the bagels the meanwhile and see, maybe they're done. And I'm going to continue to see if I can even this out. But some of these are a lot smaller than the others, and it's better when you said they all be somewhat same size. I understand that you got the vaccine on the island now. I mean,
Yeah, we did.
That's good.
Jan, you could put them in with the bagels, especially because the bagels are at a lower temperature. It's for the short amount of time that they would overlap, because your bagels are going to be done really soon. It really wouldn't matter. And then when you took your bagels out at the 375, you just put your oven up to 400 and it would be fine.
Do you think I can put it in?
Yes,
Okay.
I
'Cause
do.
I just looked at the bagels, they're not brown yet, so
Yeah, well, what's the time left on your timer?
I'll tell you in a minute. Siri, how much time left on my timer? 1 minute, that's weird because this is not,
In it.
they're not brown enough, I don't think. I'm gonna leave the bagels in for another couple of minutes and I will put this in as well.
Folks, if you can see the western sky right now, there's a beautiful sunset.
I can see a little bit from my seat.
Not you, Janet.
Not me,
No,
But you can eat the bagel.
You get the sunsets, you get the bagel.
Actually, there are very pretty sunsets out here as well, which is really interesting with the mountains. And today it's a little cloudy. So tonight's sunset, I think, will be very pretty. But well, this is time. Let me just. So I just put this in. Let me just see. What is this calling for? What did I do with the recipe? By the way, each muffin is 135 calories.
Until you added the walnuts
Yeah,
and
just
the
the walnut.
raisins.
Yeah. So this says I'm going to do Siri 17-minute timer.
How many calories in the bagel?
1 minute. Siri cancel. Siri 17-minute timer. Okay. I'm sorry, what was the question?
How many calories in the bagel?
So it's also very low. It's whatever green points are. It's 4 green points and 3 purple smart points. I don't know what that is, but
Sounds
those
like
are
seven.
Weight Watchers points.
Sounds like 7
Those are-
calories.
that must be Weight Watchers calculations. I
That
guess.
is
I don't
Weight
know.
Watchers.
Okay, well, whatever.
It is.
4. Okay, so 4 or 3. I mean, it can't be that fattening. It's just flour.
150,
essentially.
160.
So I got this, I'm trying to see, I don't know where I got this one from, but this oatmeal recipe, a muffin recipe, I got from a site called Snack Girl. Like having a snack, it's called Snack Girl, and it's a very nice site. They have, I get every day, a little recipe or two, and it's a nice site. And a lot of easy recipes. So, yeah. Any other questions? Or anyone else have any easy recipes they'd like to share? No.
I'm going to say goodbye, Janet. Thank you for inviting me.
You're
And I'm
welcome.
looking forward to eating those muffins tomorrow.
I'll be looking forward to the
Lucky you.
lox. Let me tell you, those are the best lox I've ever eaten in my entire life, ever. So, thank you for coming. Yeah.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Catherine.
Any other questions about this at all? I don't know why it's not done, of course, when I want to show off. Maybe it's.
Well, just to remind everyone, I have recorded it, so we will be uploading it to YouTube. So if anyone needs to look back at the recipe,
Oh, good.
we can do that.
Okay, let me just add this. Okay. The rest, it usually comes out a little darker than this. I don't know what I did wrong here. Maybe it's But here, this one looks very good. You can see, and the bottom is nice and brown.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
So it should be probably a little bit darker, but it's I'm sure it's fine. This one is, or maybe the sesame seed.
Janet, do you ever flip them over partway through cooking?
No. No.
Sometimes
They
it's,
are
yeah,
delicious as is.
sometimes
And you know, we had them last night for dinner. I asked Ted, would you like, we don't have any bread, you want a bagel? He said, oh, sure. And I had one as well. They were really delicious. So
maybe, Jan, maybe too much egg wash.
maybe that could be it. This is the first time I used
oh, yeah.
the whole egg. And you know what? It's not any shinier than it was with just the egg white. So maybe. When you do when you use egg white or a whole egg, do you put water in it as well, and or just straight egg as a wash?
I put a little water in.
Yeah,
put a little
yeah. I
water
think
in it.
I usually do too, and I didn't. The recipe didn't call for that.
I
Maybe-
usually don't, but that doesn't mean anything.
I don't know. But it doesn't stick at all, of course, if you use the paper and you put some spray on it, and it's not even messy. I mean, everything is messy here because I just threw everything together. But it is. I'll bring some tomorrow to Catherine's and see what she thinks of it.
Sometimes if I'm short on eggs, I use half and half as a wash, like on a pie, and that works very well also.
Yeah, I use straight milk with a little water also.
Milk.
Yeah,
Milk.
works. Yeah.
Milk too.
Well, maybe that's why it didn't brown, because I set it at the right temperature. I don't know why it didn't brown more. I don't know. Although this one is fun, but it feels like it's done. I mean, they feel fluffy. They're done. So, in fact, I'm not gonna eat one.
That's hooray.
Yeah.
Good
That's
job, Jan.
wonderful.
I wanted to show you the muffins, how easily they pop out, but if you need to go, that's fine. They pop out beautifully in the silicone muffin pan by just pressing it like this, and it comes out, the pan is clean, fairly clean. So I love it. And you don't have to worry about paper or anything like that. So
Is the pan unstable in your hands, like when you're putting it in the oven?
no, it's very stable. Mm-mm.
Okay, I've only tried them like in the store, and obviously they don't have any filling in them.
Yeah.
So I guess the filling would make them stable.
You know, I have one in the other room that's, that I bought, because I bought two of them. And they've got some strength to it. I mean, it's not very, it's not sloppy. So, and when you put things on, when you rest it, let me show you one that don't go away. So when you want to take the muffins out, you just go like that, and they pop right out. So, and they've got some. It's fairly rigid around
Yeah.
the inside.
Yeah, it's much more rigid than what I've seen because it has sides. And I think the ones that I've seen didn't have sides.
Yeah.
So they were floppy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Janet, could you check your Amazon account and see see what it is that you ordered for these silicone trays?
Okay, and I'll send it to you.
Because if you could send us that, we'd get the kind you got, not the kind that Ellie found in the store that she didn't like.
And I don't think it was expensive. I think they were, I don't know, $15, if that much. It wasn't expensive.
Good.
Do you have to let the muffins cool for any length of time before you
Yeah.
pop them out?
You're supposed to, yeah. I think in the recipe calls for 15 minutes, which makes sense. I usually, when I take it out, I put it on top of some kind of a rack and sit on the
I
counter.
know, but I meant with the silicone. I
says-
wonder if you need to cool them longer, less. as opposed to
It
a
says
metal
allow
pan.
to cool. Let's see. Bake 15 to 7 minutes until the toothpick comes out clean from the center of the muffin. Allowed to cool. They taste better at room temperature, and these muffins freeze well. That's what it says. So
Yeah, no, I was
they're
just
really-
wondering with the
they're-
silicone pan, if you can treat the silicone pan like a metal pan, and or do you have to let them cool longer, or can you pop them out sooner?
You know, yeah, I know what you're saying. I didn't know even about the cooking, you know, a metal pan versus a silicone. Would I need to cook it a longer period of time or a shorter period of time? But I just follow the recipe and it works. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer.
Well, when you take it out of the oven, still use the mats for your hands, right?
You do.
Yes.
It is hot.
But it
Yeah.
probably cools quicker. I would think it conducts heat differently.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Hmm.
Yeah, you need to use pot holders. That is a given. So, the other thing I wanted to mention is that speaking of easy, because I know I like easy stuff. I love the breads that Susan had made that and that Pat Doyle makes. But I had tried another recipe that it takes, I think you rise the bread for 2 hours, the same type of bread. You cook it, you bake it the same way. You use a cast iron pot and the whole business, and you use the same ingredients, which are, you know, flour, salt, yeast, and water. And if you decide, like in the morning, oh, you know, we could use some bread tonight for dinner, you can make it easily in a day, and it's delicious. Delicious. I should send that recipe off. It really is very good. It's every bit as good as the
Please.
Sullivan Street recipe that takes like 18, that you have to rise it for 18 hours. So
Pretty
Thank
good.
you.
I think we should have a cooking thing, a meeting with easy peasy cooking, because I like easy peasy cooking.
I think a lot of people would agree with you, Jen. I would sign up for that one.
Yeah, I like recipe. I really believe that you don't have to spend all day slaving over this, you know, preparing a recipe and have it be, I'm sure it can be delicious, but you can also do it in a simple fashion as well.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, let me
The
go take
recipe-
at the muffins. They're looking good.
Another question?
Let me see. How much longer on my timer?
I didn't know you could ask Siri that. I know you can ask her to set a timer. I never thought about asking her how much longer.
Yep, I have 6 minutes to go theoretically. So it's almost done. They're looking really good. I can show you.
Ask Siri to mix the muffins for you, Jan.
I know. You know, I have this Apple Watch, and what I like best about the Apple Watch is not only the timer, but there are 3 things that I like about it. It's the timer. It's also, I can press something on here if I can't find my cell phone, and it will make my cell phone.
Oh yeah, I do that.
Like 100 times a day, because I am forever losing my cell phone or misplacing it. And the other thing I like about it is it keeps track of how far I've walked. I try to walk or run every day. And for years I thought, oh, I was running 2-3 miles. And then I got this watch and I clocked it, and to discover that I was running about a little over a mile. So big surprise. No wonder I'm getting fat. But it's a nice little toy, this watch. And it does keep time, which is even a nice thing. And there's an indoor pool here that I swim. Ted and I swim almost every day, and we do laps. And it amazingly, it keeps track of how many laps I do in the water.
Oh, wow.
And
You leave it on, and when you swim?
Yes.
Wow.
That not only does it keep track, it tells me what stroke I have done.
Oh, my
Wow.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I test it. I usually do the freestyle, but every once in a while I'll do the backstroke, and it will say 19 freestyle laps, 1 backstroke lap.
Wow.
Wow.
Very
It's impressive.
having trouble.
gonna-
getting-
Jan, we're gonna put you in
Bagels and
touch-
more.
We're gonna put you in touch with the CIA.
Yeah, right.
Don't take it into the dressing room, though.
Oh, right.
Well, the good news today is that we learned that the Senate has got, the Democrats won in the Georgia.
Yes,
election.
yes,
The bad news.
absolutely.
Are the people that invaded wherever they are, did they get them out of there?
I don't think so.
They got him out of the floor, the Senate floor, but they're in the rotunda. But one woman was shot. And she's critical condition. Shot
Really?
by,
Whoa.
shot by a law enforcement of some sort.
So it was a protest.
Oh,
weird.
wow.
So much for a peaceful protest. But the
Yes.
pictures of them smashing the windows in the Capitol.
They
is pretty
never
scary.
intended it to be peaceful. It was never intended as a
Oh, I
peaceful
know.
protest.
No,
Yeah.
I knew that. I'm just being
Yeah.
facetious. But the pictures of them smashing the windows in the Capitol are very disturbing.
Very.
Whole thing, there's still steps of the Capitol. I mean, it's
And
just,
now they're worried it's gonna start getting dark soon, and then that's gonna be a problem.
the whole thing is awful.
Oh my
You know,
God.
it's really hard to believe that this is happening in our country.
I know.
It really
Absolutely.
is. It's very, very disturbing.
I don't know.
Extremely.
It's been disturbing for 4 years, so.
Well, and it just shows too
Right.
what a really hostile, person that's supposed to be the leader, what can happen if they're just
It also shows us that what we couldn't believe that it could happen here, people kept saying all through my growing up and young adulthood, it could never happen here. It could never happen here.
That's right.
I think these 4 years have been a training program to prove to us how easily our democracy can be dismantled. And that's what's so terrifying, really. To me.
I agree, Gloria.
I
Yeah.
think that's said beautifully. That's
Right.
true. That's the scariest part, for me. I worry about my grandkids, growing up, and I just
I know.
the whole thing. I can't believe,
Can't imagine what the headlines in other countries are right now.
Right.
And I mean, how ridiculous is it that he was at rallies for Stop the Steal today?
Right.
Mm.
Just crazy. Absolutely not. I'm gonna go check one more time. How much time left on the timer? Let's see. A minute. Okay, let me just go see. Because I really want to show you what it looks like.
But in that, I'll go to the post office.
Do all of you watch Helen Cox Richardson? Do all of you follow her?
That's
Oh,
funny.
a little.
My sister-in-law just told us last night, so we just started.
Oh, she is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. The students at BC are so lucky. But the thing
What's her
is that
name?
Heather Cox Richardson, and you go to Facebook to find her. And she has videos.
On
and she does-
Facebook, you can
Yeah.
follow her on Facebook.
and she does two different things. She does one thing that's primarily history, that's on Thursdays. And she does another thing on Tuesdays that's more contemporary politics. And I've been learning a tremendous amount about her area of specialty. Her PhD is the history of the Republican Party. And it's just
Oh, interesting.
fascinating.
Okay.
Okay.
I wish I have enough for you to each have one.
Good.
This is really easy, this doing this, because if it comes out terrible, no one will even know. I mean, they look good.
Ed will.
None of us will complain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is with raisins and strawberries and a few nuts. And I don't know, they're, you have to believe me, they are really, well, Sandra, are you still here? I can't see.
I'm here.
Sandra,
Yes,
you
I'm
will
here.
agree, these are you made these as well, didn't you?
I did. I didn't add all of what you added, but they were very good. Yes. and very easy. You can make them that morning.
Yeah, yeah. You can also just use blueberries. I use blueberries often. It's wonderful. So they are.
I
and
think-
they're-
I think the key to both of these recipes is the use of Greek yogurt.
Mhm.
I think that's really
Okay.
special, and it adds moisture and tang without adding tons of calories.
It's Greek yogurt, and the one I get, and I get it all the time because I like to, I use it with fruit. I eat it for lunch or breakfast. Is the non-fat plain, and interestingly, the difference in calories between the non-fat and the regular fat one is not that great, but I do like the taste of the non-fat one better. And these recipes do call for the non-fat one. So
Yep.
it's really
Okay.
good. I mean, I
Job.
That
I
was
love it.
wonderful.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, Janet.
Very
I'm so
nice.
glad to see you all.
Bye.
Thanks so much, Janet. You helped us.
I
was
miss you
beautiful.
all terribly.
Oh,
We miss you too.
I
And
can't wait.
not only did you share wonderful recipes, but you helped us get through a very difficult day. Gave us a real alternative. Thank you.
You're very, thank you, Gloria.
Thank you, Janet. Hope you get
Take
back
care.
here soon.
Good job, Mom.
Say hi to Ted. Say hi to Ted.
My wonderful son, Jeff.
Hi.
Take
did you hear
care.
your son
If you ever
say
need
a quick
lawyer,
send off?
If you ever need, I'm gonna make a plug. If you ever need a lawyer in Connecticut, go to my son, Jeff.
Not me. I'm
Okay,
not in
good.
Connecticut, Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it seemed a little far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Our best
See
to
ya.
Good to
Ted.
see everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi.
See you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye, everyone.
Bye.